If you've ever tried to make a YouTuber recipe, it usually doesn't turn out how it looks in the video, does it? Despite all of that, in the next 24 hours, I will be trying to make the most challenging, tasty and time-consuming recipes I've ever tried. So this is gonna go into the oven for how long? 4 hours? I'll be making 3 dishes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Each of them will be rated in a tier list, and by the end of the day, Fallow guys will be given an overall Andrew score. And hopefully, by the end of the series, I will be able to crown the king of food YouTube. Now get your butter ready, and let's go make some breakfast. Okay, so for breakfast, of course, we're starting off with Michelin pancakes with maple butter glaze. Now, I'm not gonna bore you with the pain that is to separate 5 egg yolks and 8 egg whites. Oh, don't break, don't break, don't break. So let's add in our egg yolks. Ooh, and I'm definitely not doing this by hand. So add in our lemon juice and let's use a stick mixer. Now I'm taking bets that this is gonna be way too small of a bowl. More power! Okay, now it's time for the sugar, right? Peak check. Dude, it looks like a meringue, doesn't it? Let's add in the cornstarch. I'd say that's enough. Yeah, it's still separating, but look, pretty good peak. 1 egg yolk. Oh shit, it got stuck. Should have wetted it probably. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now gently mix it in. I don't want to lose the air that is in it. Now, gently, I'm gonna fold in the flour with a bit of salt. So, scaring the bubbles, I can like hear every fold. It's like, I'll try adding in the milk. Fold in a little bit more. It still has lumps in it, but I think it might be ready to go. I'll go make our maple butter glaze. Let's go to the stovetop. Okay, precious butter. What's a real Fallow recipe without tons of butter?
Unsurprisingly for our channel, than caramelizing butter.
I'm surprised they're not gonna use a cartouche in here. Comedy! Yeah, it's darkening. I can see the solids forming. I'm gonna need another pan, which is gonna be like 3 pans for this recipe. 1 for pancakes, 2 for sauce. Let me pour in the maple syrup and reduce it by half. Look at those weird shapes. Dude, what the hell is happening? Is it aliens talking with me? Oh no, it's burning, bro. Now this, yeah, oh yeah, it's starting to smoke. Now this is very healthy, it seems. It's very dark brown color. Okay, now I'll just pour it in a cup through a very fine mesh sieve. Oh yeah, it is. Look at those solids. It looks nasty. Hope this is worth it, fellow guys.
It's all about butter. Rub it in good.
I'm not even sure at this point. Guess now a bit back to the maple syrup. Forgot to add in the soy sauce. Oh. Ooh. Now whisk it somehow. Yeah, that seems to do something. Now I can use a stick mixer to emulsify the sauce. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just gonna try and move all of that soy sauce and maple syrup first. Oh no, is it crystallizing? Now we throw in our butter, black butter. I should have fucking mixed it. Emulsion has to happen. I think I fucked it up. Just should have used simple plain maple syrup. It's crystallized. Oh no.
Congratulations, you played
I
yourself.
did the same thing with mayo. Oh, I broke it. Also too small of a fucking bowl. As always. The sauce is harder than the pancakes. I'm not giving up. Bro, I'm not Oh! Fuck! Put in the whole whisk in the microwave. That's right. The crystallized maple syrup. Max power. Am I gonna serve it like this? Hell yeah, well. Okay, now finally, I guess it's time to cook our pancakes. I gotta put it on low heat. And since I don't have a non-stick egg pan, I'm gonna use a bit of butter. Wipe it all around here. Butter pan. Lower the heat. And let's ladle in our fluffy dough. 2 ladles. Now shape it in the shape that I want it to be and hope for the best. I hope I will be able to take it out and it should be fine.
A few moments later.
It's been 9 minutes. I smell burning. I have to somehow flip this thing. I have no idea how though. Oh my God, it's so fluffy. Please, for the love of God. Yes! I did better than the chef did.
2, 3, flip. Oh, so close.
Even though the bottom is burned as Okay, this one is definitely gonna be the bottom one. So this one took 9 minutes. I guess I'm gonna do the next one for like 6-7 minutes. Get it? Oh my god, I'm so old. Oh yeah, baby. Look at this. I'll put it on a wire rack to cool off, but holy shit. This is like a cake. Time for a little bit more butter. Oh, fuck. No, it broke. I'll use 2 spatulas. No. Yes. Flip it. Fuck. It's still burned. All this effort for nothing. Well, this one was not as successful. Let's go serve these pancakes. Now, look at this final pancake that came out. Now, our nice pancake on top. This side is pretty nice. Now, let's make the circle of butter, right? Take it a circle. Does that look like a circle to you? Good enough for me. And I'll start with like the regular maple syrup. That's what I should have done. And let's do the other side with our thing. I'll try them both. Let's try this dysfunctional pancake. I start off with like the regular side, right? Get a little bit of butter. The fluff is kind of comparable to like the American pancakes. I don't know. Well, oh my god, look at that. Butter is cold as fuck. Is it some of that burnt butter? Some of this. I need water. Oh no. Okay. I finally finished chewing it. Let's rate it, right? I mean, the effort it took to make, this is gonna affect the score drastically, I think. It was a pain in the ass. The pancakes, they burnt. Okay, it was my mistake. For next time, I'm sure we'll make it better. In general, the pancake is, oh my god, look at that. It's fluffy. It's like you're eating sponge cake, just without the icing, right? The flavor, in a way, it does remind me of like meringue. Moistiness, these things are moist. I just can't stop eating it. The blackened butter, I feel the umami taste of like burnt stuff. I mean, I've never tried anything like it, even though I feel like it's just American pancakes, just on steroids. Huge. I would make these without the sauce. I will rate this B tier. Tastes great, looks also amazing. It's like a pillow, I just want to sleep on it. It's not worth it. Now I got really hungry. We'll make a BLT, which is not really a BLT. This one is a bit different. It has onions in it. And it also has 3 layers, so it's a club sandwich. I'm not sure. We start off with mayonnaise. We will make our own homemade mayonnaise. So for that we will need 2 egg yolks. They're so jiggly. Some lemon juice, some acid, then our emulsifier, some Dijon mustard, and oil with some salt. So on the video, chef makes it by hand, which is, I'm too lazy. We will bust out our stick mixer, and what we do is just put in the eggs, our acid, tablespoon of Dijon mustard, pinch of salt, and our oil. A little disclaimer, I have never made my own mayonnaise. It's gonna be a first for me. If I can make it, then you can make it too. Just put it in the bottom, and then just... Wait, what? What is happening? That fucked up? Probably. I mean, it does look like mayo. So let me taste it. It tastes kind of like Hellmann's mayo. Oh, sorry, no brand's mayo. Now, for me, a sandwich is all about the tomato. Even though in the video, nobody mentioned like what kind of tomatoes to get. Try to get the tomatoes that are in season. We can slice our tomatoes to more manageable pieces, of course. And get a shallot. And now let's just make it a marinade. So let's put our onions and our tomato. Then to that I'm gonna add some salt, some neutral tasting oil, and from what I could understand,
Sherry vinegar.
Mix it a little bit. So set these aside to marinate. In the meantime, we can prep our bread. I'm sorry, I couldn't find potato bread, but what I got is this sourdough that looks similar. I'll leave the middle piece and freshen up these pieces in the microwave. And in the meantime, we can go cook up the bacon. Let's crank up the heat and let's layer our bacon strips. We're gonna toast just the one piece of bread and collect all that fat, which kind of makes sense. I don't want greasy fingers.
Your hands don't look like this while you're eating your lunch. Must be a liberal sissy. Must be a sissy boy.
Now remove the bacon. I like to put it on a paper towel for extra crispiness. Finish toasting our piece of bread, and then let's go assemble our sandwich. Put our fresh homemade mayo, our lettuce. I like to shred it. Shred some big chunks. Then our marinated tomato, the shallot. Then our toasted piece. Then our cut, or in my case, uncut bacon strips. And crown it with the top, right? That's it. And of course, the press. Oh, now that looks like one heck of a sandwich. Before we dig in, I forgot, leftover lettuce should have went here. Now, the cross section. have a look. Yeah, baby. I like what I see. Layers and layers of flavor. Now it's time to rate it. Let's see how this one tastes. Holy moly. Okay, this is an improvement. The middle crispy layer gives it way more crispy texture. The outside being just, plain bread, not toasted, doesn't destroy the top of my mouth. The tomatoes are great. I don't even feel the shallots. Let's compare it with the BLT. So here it is. A regular BLT, which is a recipe you can find in the corner. Cut it diagonally. There we go. This is how I usually make my BLT. Now let's compare the two. Very different. This one is a hitter. It hits right away. The bread has its own flavor. Tomatoes, they're in this vinaigrette. The shallots, like the onion flavor comes up. It's hard to say that this one is probably better, so I would rate it S+ tier. I wouldn't say it's a BLT, but it's one heck of a good sandwich. Next up, dinner. Now finally, the day has come. As soon as I saw this short rib thumbnail, I just knew I had to make them. I hope it is worth it. Now these are gonna be all the vegetables that we're gonna use. So just quickly, I'll chop and get ready the vegetables. You won't need these. 1 leek, 2 celeries, 2 odd looking carrots, garlic, we're gonna crush them later, and of course, the shallots. Shallot. Now chef said they don't have to be perfect since they will go into the pot and we will not eat them.
This veg actually isn't going to make its way into the final sauce. We're going to pass it off, so don't worry about doing it too fine.
And believe it or not, this is gonna be all the cutting that we will do today. So now let's get our meat ready. Put in some flour, season it with salt, and of course freshly ground black pepper. Mix it a little bit. The best tool is the finger. And now take a look at these beautiful ribs that I got. Look how much meat is on there. Beautiful. I'm a newbie to meat, so I might have gotten scammed. I'm not sure. Simply flour all of our ribs. This will help brown them very nicely. With the meat ready, now all that is left to do is go to the stovetop, start browning the meat and reducing the wine. So let's go. So let's start off with the wine, right? 2 bottles. Listen, listen. Oh! And the second bottle. Ooh! Has to be syrupy consistency. While we do that, we can sear our meat. Okay. Turn the heat on this one. Add a couple tablespoons of oil. Let's get that to a heat. Now we can add in our ribs. I'm gonna do it in batches because this is pretty small dish. And the ribs are pretty big. Once all the sides of all the ribs are golden brown, in this rib fat, we're gonna add in our vegetables. Ooh. Mix, mix, mix. The shallots are coming up together nicely. Yeah, look at that. I think it's time for the rest of the vegetables. Our carrots, our leeks, and our celery all go in there. And of course, our 2 cloves of garlic, crushed. I just pressed them with my hand on the table. Now mix everything again. Me when I see your mom. Funny. Me when I see the short rib thumbnail. Yeah, my dip just fell off. So, the wine is done, I think. Also, it's pretty syrupy. I think the wine started from here. It reduced all the way here. You can read my recipes at andrewscooking.com/recipes, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So the vegetables are starting to brown. Now we add in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Now Will said this is the most important part.
This is the most important stage for when things start to stick.
Lower the heat a little bit and not let it burn to the bottom of the pan. We will be adding our short ribs. I don't know which way I should. Probably this way. Okay, now it's time for our thick wine. Oh shit! Look at the mess I made. This stock does look like soup right now. 2 bay leaves and some thyme. Probably I should salt and pepper everything also a little bit. Now let's put on the cartouche. What is a fallow recipe without butter and of course a cartouche? Put on a lid. Before we go, I have to do some engineering and get these rubber things off the pot. Yeah, baby. Good. Now the pot is fully ready. Put it in the oven for 4 hours on 140 degrees Celsius. I'm gonna eat this in the middle of the night. Now I'll see you very, very soon as I will rate this dish and the entire 24 hours. Okay, now, while the meat is still baking, we can make our puree. Let's cut up this celery and 2 potatoes so they boil faster. I think that's why we have to do this. What I said earlier, that this is all the cutting that we're gonna do. Apparently not.
So that was a fucking lie.
Celery. Put it all in a pot. 4.5 liters of milk, salt, and let's put it on a stove. Everything seemed trivial until I decided to rest for 20 minutes on the couch while the pot was boiling. What the fuck? What the fuck did I just do? Did I just make cheese?
Cheese.
Hope I can save this. Okay, I think I have an idea. I'll transfer everything into a new pot with new milk, heat up the milk, and then just puree everything in there. So, okay. I think 99% of the vegetables are safe. Now what I'm left with is this weird cheese with whey. I guess French would eat it. Why wouldn't they? And this huge, beautiful milk stain that I'm gonna be so happy to clean. Oh my god. God, why? Now just pour in the rest of the milk and back on the stove. Okay, the milk just started to simmer, so it's fine. Try this, I guess. You know what? Maybe it's gonna be fine. It is pureeing alright, eh? Taste it for salt. I think this is the stage where we add our butter to make it glossy and beautiful. Let's finish our puree. Wow. Wow. Looks beautiful. I'm happy. It's very hot. Ah. I'll set this aside and let's go check in on our ribs. Oh my god. Finally. Now I have to be careful. Oh yeah, it's tender. It wants to leave the bone. Oh, this is the money shot. This is the one. Yeah, look at that bone. Can you see that? Now, all that is left is to strain these vegetables. Sieve. Look at all those veggies left. Look at this liquid gold and these golden short ribs. Now let's go to the stovetop and let's finish making the sauce. Okay, so heat on. Smells great. It smells like very deep, rich wine. Now I'll just let it bubble up, reduce.
1 eternity later.
Look how our sauce is doing. It's way thicker. Also, it did become glossy and it tastes like concentrated beef in there. So now what we can do is make our slurries.
This is just called making a slurry.
In a bowl, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of whole grain mustard. To that, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. And now I'm just gonna add about a tablespoon of our sauce.
Boom.
Now mix it all in there. Let's go to the back of the spoon. We can clearly see it does. Let's add in the slurry, I guess. Mix it all in there. Okay, I think this is it. The time I have been waiting for has finally come. It's time to serve the dish. This celery, this puree to the divot. So as I was saying, this celeriac potato puree is also amazing. It's basically like mashed potatoes, but has a hint of this earthy flavor from that celeriac. The rib smell was, wow, out of this world amazing. And the sauce that we made, my god, it was just charged with beef flavor. Just a little bit more of that sauce. Look at that. From how it smells and how it looks, this dish, I feel like this is what a real man eats, like a woodcutter, you know? I feel like I'm the bull charging at a matador, you know? It's like beef infused with beef. I guess the only thing left to do is taste it and rate it. I hope I'm not gonna be disappointed. The meat is tender, falls off the bone as we saw, so get everything, and cheers. Wow. I'm actually speechless. I don't feel a lot of different flavors. Hints of mustard. The beef melts in my mouth, right? My mouth, it's just dripping. I was skeptical. I want to finish this because it's superb. The beef, it falls off the bone. Can we do that? Yep, there we go. I feel like this is a whole cow just condensed into this one piece of meat. Without a doubt, as plus tier, nothing else to say. Now to rate the entire day, the entire 24 hours, if you rate it based on flavors, this one gets the score up to the stratosphere. Forget about the breakfast fail. Also too small of a fucking bowl. It was still good. Lunch, sandwich was great. Now complexity of all of these dishes, even the sandwich was kind of, you know? Is it worth it? I'd say yes for the short ribs, yes for the sandwich, no for the pancakes, sadly. Overall, the entire 24 hours, I'll rate it S tier. Now for the Andy score, I'm gonna rate it 6 cows out of 7. Just kill me. Peace.